Some say it's the backbone of our education and therefore our society. Some say it's the biggest burden they've had to face their entire academic careers. My name is Brendan Pinkerton, and I will be talking to you about the benefits and detrimental effects of homework. To start off with, I prepared a little visual aid for you all to look at. The visual aid is titled Family Views on Homework by Brendan Pinkerton. This first slide depicts a student, and there's a clock at the where he's doing his homework, and a bunch of chaos and parents in the background. What this is emphasizing is that the student is spending too much time on homework while he's angering his parents because there's so much chaos, and he's just stressed out. The second slide, if you can zoom in a little bit and see it, is a chart of students saying, they've been asked, how much homework are you receiving every weekend? Now the biggest one is at 25%, this purple one right here. The purple one, you can't really see there, says students received 5 or more hours of homework over the average weekend. Now, the rest of them say 23.3% for 4 hours, 18.1% for 3 hours, 2 hours is at 21.6, and 12.1 in the blue represents an hour or less. What this is saying is that on average, students receive at least 5 or more hours of homework every weekend, and that's the largest amount. And the smallest amount is 1 hour or less. This next chart is about parent ratings, about the amount and quality of homework. You can't see very well, and it's kind of confusing. But right here in the good column is where most of the responses were recorded for both amount and quality, which is understandable because, not everyone's going to agree with that it's too good or too bad. It's kind of, they're trying to say that there's a median when in reality there's not. Now, I've prepared one visual aid for you, but I've also prepared another one. So instead of looking at just articles and stats and, the general information that you find for homework, I've decided to look at a local family and ask them how they, respond to homework, because they have both a middle schooler and an elementary student. So if you follow me, this is the family's elementary student. You can see here how he's struggling with his, whatever homework he has, because he may have been, it may be very difficult, something he doesn't understand, and it's taking away time from him playing with both his family and friends. Now on this side of the room is their middle schooler. You can see he's reading very intently, which means he's getting the stuff. He's flipping through the pages with ease because he understands what he's reading. Now, this is kind of two sides of a different coin because as elementary students, we're not expected to know as much yet. We're still trying to develop a love for learning. And we need to develop that love by, in the classroom with teachers telling us, hey, you got to do this and this. You don't really need to go outside the classroom and take up your valuable time. Whereas once we reach middle school, we're starting to develop study habits and say, hey, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, and just, try to get those good study habits and why they need to study, what they need to study, and how long they need to study. So when they get to high school, you don't need as much homework. You can just say, hey, I know what I'm doing, this is, the way I study this way, and I know how long I need to study. Because the effects of homework can be beneficial, like I mentioned earlier, or they can be detrimental. On the detrimental side of things, mainly geared towards the elementary and high school students, it takes away time from them learning, inside the classroom because they may be focusing on homework, or, they don't understand it, or they're arguing with their parents about their homework, or they just aren't getting it done, and on top of that, it takes away from, a kid, who wants to play football with his friends or watch a movie with his family. So it takes away time from these students, getting to be kids. Whereas, on the beneficial side of the coin, homework allows these kids to develop study habits, which is more of the middle school aspect of students, because it allows them to, like I said, develop the study habits and get good ideas on, hey, I know how to learn, I need to implement that into my life. And so like I said, this is just a really, telling you what can be good and what can be bad. There's no real, it's not skewed one or two ways. It's, we need to find that median. And if we find that median as a society, then we can advance more in education. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and thank you.